I can't help but to notice the amount of difficulties I'm experiencing trying to get this message out. So now I'm even more determined to get it out and push forward. So look, Yah will place people on your path. Yah, God, if you believe in a higher source, or if you don't. People will be placed on your path. And it is up to you to listen or not. So G, if you're listening to this, thank you. Anywho, yes, I am the founder of Transcend Wellness. And when it comes to talk, just know that Talk Fluoride-Free Toothpaste goes beyond the toothpaste itself. The name, Talk, is really about me evoking conversation, thoughts, spreading awareness, and for you to want to get more of an understanding of yourself and receive guidance from within. So when I started this journey 3 years ago, I was introduced to this path because at the time I was looking for transportation services for my daughter. My daughter, she has her own unique challenges. And at the time, she wasn't walking. And this was at 3, not walking stable at least. She's gone through multiple surgeries to get to the point where she's now more graceful. And I'm just so thankful for that. But anywho, I came across a transportation company and it was woman owned. So this particular woman, she shared to me her why of starting. And I knew nothing else, but I just told her, wow, this is so great. I have an idea that I want to push forward with. So I love to hear other people's stories. And I left it at that. Little did I know was that she would be the catalyst to my journey, because she then proceeded to say, well, I'm going to gift you the funds so you could open up your business. And at the time I was just like, oh no, like, you can't do that. Don't do that. Or not necessarily don't do that, but it was just, I was just in shock. Like, really? We don't even know each other and you're doing this for me? And she told me, she said, well, when God gives you something and if he's giving you a blessing, you can't say no. You have to accept it. She didn't say it in those exact words, but that's how I interpreted it. And I said, okay. So I knew that was a message for me to push forward. So I say this because we all have aspirations. We all have desires, whether we think we can obtain it or not. And myself, honestly speaking, I didn't think entrepreneurship was in the cards for me. I've always been the one happy for everyone else. But I didn't think it was something that was possible for me. So when she told me to go ahead, take these funds so you can open up your LLC, I said, okay. Little did I know was how I would actually turn an idea into an intangible product. So for yourself, know that anything is possible. There will be roadblocks, but allow your faith to push you forward beyond that. Because I've been through quite a bit. And it took for me to say, okay, I'm tired of worrying about how. I just need to get to the destination. And I have to believe that the resources will come. And that's what happened. But again, even with that, it was where it seemed like everything was falling apart. while being built at the same time. So maybe that's what needs to happen. Sometimes you'll go through experiences where you do feel like things are just quickly being demolished. But we need that at times because we need to rebuild ourselves. And I only could speak for myself that this is the transitionary period that I'm in, where I'm allowing myself to be rebuilt. You know, it's important for me to say too that at the beginning of this journey, it was at the height of one of the worst periods of my life. At that time, I was beginning the transition of a divorce. My twins were maybe 2 at the time, and I had an older son. And that was a lot of what all I could do was just do a deep inhale, exhale, and it's just like here I am, a statistic that I don't want to be. You know, while I'm preparing myself to go through the divorce, little did I know was that shortly afterwards, I would then divorce my biological family. And that's not to say that things won't change down the road. But sometimes you have to pick you. You have to save you first before you could save anyone else. So as I was just trying to gather the pieces, let certain pieces drop, figure it out. After a few months of kind of mixing my own little concoctions together with fluoride-free toothpaste that I was already using, that was when I had my aha moment of, well, why can't I just do this for myself? I mean, I work in tech right now. And at that very moment, at the time, I was like, well, if I was able to transition into tech from being a mortgage underwriter, why can't I do this too? But even with that, it still took time for me to push forward. And that's when, like, months later, I met the lady, the owner of the transportation company, and she went ahead and basically spiritually gave me that message of you need to push forward. So allow this to be that green light for you. Go do it, whatever it is. It will work itself out. You have to have the faith. And I say this from a perspective of, even as of right now, I don't know all of the pieces. I don't know every single next move to make. But I do believe that entire puzzle, every single mini, even microscopic piece, it will be placed in its perfect position, in the manner, and within the time that it should. That's it. Just do it. Do it.